We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Matt. Matt says SVS was running their Black Friday deal on the SB12 NSD for $399. That's a pretty good deal.
Lots of people pinged us about that on Twitter and Facebook, so yeah, that's good that got out there.
Good. Matt already owns one of those, so he's been looking to upgrade to dual subs, so this seemed like a great opportunity. His setup is in a great room that is partially open to the rest of the house. He knows we'd recommend higher output subs, but what will adding a second SB12 NSD to his system actually give him? So the idea here is that what he wants us to say is that it'll give him more output, meaning that they'll be louder than it was before. But the idea of dual subs, and we've said this before and we'll say it again, is not about loudness. It's not about getting louder unless you stack them on top of each other or you put them right next to each other. You co-locate them. Then you get more output. You will get a bit of increase in output, maybe 3 dB.
Yeah. You get a little bit more.
You will not get the significant amount of output increase that you might expect. What you will get is more, not even, but a more even uniform response across all the area of your room. That's what we're going for with dual subs.
Yeah, so let's say he just got
I'm gonna let you go.
I
gotta get some water. I'll be right back.
You betcha. Yeah, let's say he just got the second SB12 NSD no matter what. All right. So now he basically has a choice. Okay, he can take the two SB12 NSDs that he has, and he can put them on opposite sides of the room from one another, like we're always recommending, diagonally opposite corners or opposites, midpoints of two walls that are across the room from one another. And what he's going to get by doing that is a little bit more output. It's going to get a little bit louder, maybe 3 dB louder, which is not nothing, but it's not nearly as much as you might expect by doubling the number of subs in your room. So it gets a little bit louder, but mainly what you're getting there is more uniform response from seat to seat. Now, he also has the option of, if he says, you know what, I already think the uniformity across my seats is fine, or I really only care about one seat, and if the other seats in this room don't have really nice linear even bass, I don't care too much about that. I really only care about one seat. You could stack the two SB12 NSDs or put them directly side by side, and that will give him a 6 dB increase, which is like twice as loud, basically, to our ears. That's more along the lines of what you're expecting by doubling the number of subs. So it's basically you got one or the other. You can get more uniform, only getting a little bit louder, or you can get significantly louder but not gain any uniformity because you stacked them or put them directly side by side. So that's basically the choice. Now he goes on to ask, should dual subs always match? Should they always have two identical subs? And what about using one ported sub, say like a larger, higher output ported sub, and one sealed sub like what he already has? So this comes up quite frequently because, of course, people come across subs where they're like, oh, I'd really like to get that. I already have one sub. It's typically, they have a lesser sub that they already own. They're thinking of getting a bigger, larger one. And they're like, do I get all the benefits of the bigger, larger sub plus the benefits of better uniformity because I'm already using the second, somewhat lesser sub? And unfortunately, it's more like a case of weakest link is kind of what goes on there. One of those subs is going to reach its limit before the other one. And once you've done that, now you're back to essentially having one sub. There's only one more sub that can continue on and play deeper or play louder or play cleanly without distortion. The weaker link has already reached its limit, and that's as far as it can go. And either it's going to start to make nasty sounds,
and that's what you
trying
don't want
to keep up, which is no fun at all. The best case scenario in that is that it just puts its hands up and says, I ain't doing any more, which will actually be the case with his SB12 NSD. It'll kind of just say, that's it, I'm not playing any lower or louder, bows out somewhat gracefully, and then the second sub basically continues on by itself. So would getting one larger ported sub that's actually appropriate for his room size to play as loud as he wants it to, and then pairing it up with the SB12 NSD, well, they're only going to act as dual subs for the limits of the SB12 NSD. And after that, your best case scenario is the SP12 NSD just refuses to play any louder or lower, and then the other sub kind of continues on. So it's not, I wouldn't say that's the end of the world situation, especially if uniformity is a really top priority, because at least you're getting some benefit. It's not like you're always going to the maximum.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call that the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, if he ended up going with a larger sub, he could decides that he really wants to have the lower output, and the louder output. He just gets rid of the one he's got and upgrades that one as well later on. So that's an option.
Yeah.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.